Welcome
first of all,
to Game of the Year 2017. This is now 2100, and we're all practically dead.
all right,
Apart from Kelsey, who still has a youth. Bless her.
Welcome back to part 2 of Game of the Year. Here with Justin,
Hello.
Kelsey.
Hi, sorry.
It's all right. Hugh
Prinhounder.
and Matt,
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
and I'm Bobby. That's me.
I'm Bobby.
By far the longest we've ever recorded in one session.
That's me. This is like a typical length of a Talking Comics record back in the day.
True.
This is part 2 of the Game of the Year. We're going to be taking we have a list of 53 games in front of us, and we're going to take that game and whittle it down to 10 and order that list of 10 games. You're mentioning, Justin, when we started that it was going to be a bloodbath. I don't think getting to the 10 is going to be the bloodbath.
No, the 10 is the bloodbath.
The ordering of the 10 is going to be the bloodbath.
Well, there's a couple that I'm going to have to fight to get on that 10.
Yeah, I know, I agree. But
Yeah.
let's. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go around and we're going to nominate games to cut.
Well, we gotta read the list first, right?
No.
I'm not reading all 53 of these games out.
All right.
But we're gonna go around and nominate a list to cut. I mean, a game to cut. If there's if you have strong reservations about the game being cut, speak up. All right. But if this is your 10th favorite game of the year, it's not going to make the top 10 list. So
There's two quick things I'm going to just take off right now.
what are you taking off?
Dead Cells, because it's early access.
No.
Oh, here's what I would say to you, Q. I should have mentioned this before. I don't have a problem with Dead Cells being talked about. Why?
Well, you know what?
Just start recording, because I'm going to use I'll just use the stream audio from that for that section of it. All right, just hit record, Kelsey.
It's okay,
We're only
Kelsey.
like 5
It's the first time
minutes
it's
All right,
happened. Don't worry.
I don't have to
about
read it. It's fine.
Awesome.
We have the backup, which is the stream audio, so I can always just use that to sync it up.
Sorry.
It's okay.
it. No, we're not cutting
Sorry.
Dead Cells. It's like 10th. You just said
But
if it's 10 on somebody's list, we're not cutting it.
but this is what I'm saying. No, this is what I'm saying.
Never
to you,
done
Hugh.
early access
Can I
before.
No,
All right, go
Say
ahead.
the thing I want to say.
Please, yes.
Can I just say the thing we want to say?
Go ahead.
I can make this easier. All right, which is that Hugh. None of us have played it this year. It's going to be out on more stuff this coming year. We'll have more time to play it. I think it has a better chance of making a top 10 and even being very high in that top 10 in another year.
Okay.
We've never done early access
and that's-
during Game of the Year.
and
Yeah,
that
but
is
we
the-
said
I
what
know,
you just
and
said,
but
what
what
you
I'm
just
saying
said
is,
is
I'm
fine,
not saying
but,
this for the
the early
benefit.
access thing doesn't wash because we said PUBG was going to be on here regardless.
Yeah, we did. So here's what I'm going to say to you.
But
and that's not the reason why.
I'll say fine, cut it.
Because I think
But
it
now
has a
I'm
better
gonna have
chance
to
of making
play
a
with my
list
top 10.
another year. Okay,
We can just cut PUBG.
you can put it in your normal in your personal top 10, Hugh, however you want. I'm just saying for the site-wide top 10, I'm actually going to do it because I want Dead Cells to get its due next year, when everyone's actually played it and loved it. All right.
I can replace it. It's fine in my personal 10 because I think
No,
you can keep it in
your
the personal
You
10
can put
for sure.
You can put a game that came out. I don't care what's in your personal 10. It doesn't
then
matter.
Can I put it in for next year? That's the problem.
Not in your personal top 10? No, but why would you need to?
I suppose. Okay, all right.
Is there still time to add games?
This is
If
the
you want to
first
add
time-
games, add them.
This is the
Okay?
first time we've ever had like a discussion of that type because
I know, and I meant to have the discussion last week, and I just totally forgot. That was totally
it's
my
fine.
bad.
I will
I'm sorry about that.
I will
That is
concede.
that is on me 100%.
Okay.
All right. If you want to add games to the list, Matt, go ahead. But if you add
was just-
fucking joke games, Beatles Rock Band or something, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth because we don't have time for it.
I'm just being a smartass. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, this
That's
was
not like you,
surprise.
Matt.
So here's how it's gonna go. We're gonna go around. You're gonna cut a game. If you have strong reservations about that game getting cut, please speak up. Or if you just want to say, "Hey, I understand it's gonna get cut, but I just want to say it's great about these things," fine. If it's a game you're just like, "Oh, I like that game though," it's going.
Fair enough.
All right.
Think about it logically. Like, does this have a chance of making the top 10?
Exactly.
I
If you-
feel
but if
like
you-
a lot. of
Justin
people
said
are
he had
talking
2 games to
directly
cut, so
me.
Dead Cells was one. What was the other?
Well, because I didn't know that you guys had this discussion about early access,
We didn't totally. But what's the other one?
the other one I saw was Fortnite. Like Fortnite Battle Royale is not
Okay, well,
out
let's
of
get
early
it cut
access.
anyway. I don't know what
Yeah,
we're
well, that's
we're
not
talking
gonna make
about.
our top
That was going to
10.
be the easy cut. I don't know.
I like Fortnite a lot, but it's not going to be
It's
top
a
10.
good
Top 10?
game. I bet it's not top 10.
Yes.
The only game my students play.
Really.
That's because they have no,
All right.
Money?
liquid.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
cutting Fortnite.
Let's actually get started. Okay. So
I'll go
Matt.
first.
No. Hey, who's the host of this effing podcast?
Me.
Alright.
It's me. All right.
Cut my games and then don't let me talk. Fine, Matt, talk.
Matt,
All right.
nominate a
Did-
game to cut.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it just because you will. If we have this rule about early access, there should not be a rule about overdue access, and that's Star Fox 2.
Oh, yes.
Star Fox 2 was a very interesting game. It was a very exciting, pleasant surprise. It was cool. It was a very cool thing, but it also was not a very good game.
Okay. So Star Fox 2 is gone.
Yeah, like honestly, had it been like a good Super Nintendo game, I would beat its drum a little bit more, but not right now.
Right. Okay. Hugh, pick a game to cut.
I will fall on a sword, because it's not in my top 10 and nobody else here has played it. I will cut Pro Evolution Soccer.
Okay.
It's a good
Fair.
one of those. Like, I think it's the best for quite a while. But yeah,
You do have an ongoing video series with it, so people should check that out on our YouTube channel.
I do. Yes,
youtube.com/talkinggames. All right.
15-game win streak.
It's true. You're amazing
I am.
at PES.
Yeah. The
Kelsey, pick a game to cut.
Star Wars.
We're going for Battlefront 2 now. I mean, I'm fine with it. It's not. I don't think it's
Kelsey,
gonna.
there's like 50 games on this list.
I know, but
No,
to be
but
fair,
not gonna make
it's
the
not
top 10.
making it. We ripped the Band-Aid. Just do it now.
It's not going to
Fine.
make the
Yeah.
top 10.
It's fine. Cut
Yeah.
it. Go ahead.
I know, like mentally, it's like, oh, but it's not the 50th worst game
It's
of the
fine.
year. But it's not going to make
It's the first one I thought about that I want to get rid of.
I played like
Yes,
9 of these
oh.
games, including that one, and that game's still not in my top 10.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, sure, Justin, cut a game.
Wait, what's the game she really likes? It's a mobile game.
What?
Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that game.
Is that on there?
Is that even on?
I don't think it's on the list.
not even on
I
here.
know. I just want to say it's
Oh,
bad.
wow.
Gravity Rush 2
Yeah,
is
Gravity
a
Rush.
cool game.
But it's not top 10.
It's not top 10.
It's a very good looking game.
It is. I get to play as 2B from Nier,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
that's
neat.
true. Let's get Dishonored: Death of the Outsider off of here.
Yeah.
Dishonored is a cool game, but I mean,
Isn't that DLC technically?
but it's standalone.
It
so
is standalone.
So
Ah,
it's
okay.
you can
So,
count
like-
like Uncharted would count.
Yeah.
You know. So that's gone. So that's easy. Matt, back around to you. Make a cut.
Goodbye, Injustice.
Fair.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is it
So
in your
cut-
top 10, Kelsey?
Yeah, yes, it's definitely in Kelsey's
I
top.
really
Okay.
liked it.
Okay. All right.
There's so many games on
There's so
here.
many other games you guys could easily cut. Why are you making this hard now?
All right. I personally didn't like it, so that's why I was ready to get rid of it. But if we can't cut that one just yet, yeah, fucking Knack 2. What the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
and Act 2, get the hell out of here.
Knack 2 survived longer than Battlefront.
Well, I don't understand.
You,
Yeah, but
you and
it's
Matt are like, you and
this-
Matt are like, we're gonna fall on our swords. We're gonna make cuts. I'm like, you guys don't have to fall on your swords. There's so many games that none of us want on this list.
Yeah, but at this point,
Dude.
it's just a screen with a load of words on it. So you
Yeah,
just
that's
kind
true.
of go,
It's very true.
this one.
And you guys
very
would have
true.
been mean about Star Fox, so I was at least mercy killing it.
While we're at it, highlight
Yeah, Hugh, you're next anyway.
highlight and remove Middle-earth Shadow of War.
Yes, for sure.
Because that game was...
If we did a most disappointing game,
Win the
I
award
would've-
for, disappointment of the year.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just
It's whatever.
whatever.
Disappointing,
That's the
yeah.
problem with it. Yeah. So is that gone? Did we cut that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cut it. I got it.
We're not...
I'm cutting it right now.
We're not annoyed with
All
it,
right.
we're just disappointed.
Kelsey, cut something.
Ukulele.
Oh, Kelsey's just falling on her sword too. All right.
Like I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was a good game. Like there was a lot of mechanic problems too that I just don't think suffices. Like I don't even think because of the mechanic problems it should even go further.
Right.
I think it had
Okay.
a lot of problems.
All right. Cool. All right.
Sundered is a nice looking roguelike, but it's not going to hang on this list.
All right, Sundered is gone.
Sundered was fun.
Do you think it's gonna be a top 10 game?
Oh boy.
If you guys all played it, it would have been. It was a good game.
So no. So the answer is no.
Let's see. It's me, right? It's my turn.
It's
to
your
cut?
turn.
I'm gonna cut Thimbleweed Park. It's a
Okay.
cool throwback adventure game. I didn't play enough of it to really hang on this list. I love the idea of it, but I haven't played enough of it to fight for it in any sort of way. All right, Matt, back around to you.
Arms. Arms.
Yeah, we can
It's
get rid
not,
of Arms.
I'm not going to get it on the list.
You're not gonna get it on the top 10.
No.
No, for sure. No. You did get it in best style though.
Good.
That was a win in itself.
It deserved to be there. It's a good-looking game.
Yeah, yeah.
We've said more about Arms in these 4 hours than we need to. Hugh, pick a
Yeah.
game to cut.
Then we played Arms.
Yeah, exactly.
I played like 40 hours of
Yeah,
Arms.
Chelsea played a ridiculous amount of Arms.
Okay.
I really liked it.
Yeah, I had fun playing that with you, Justin. We should play some more.
All right.
Is it my go?
Yes,
Yes.
it's your go here.
Agents of Mayhem.
Yes, we can cut Agents of Mayhem for sure.
Good game should be on this list, not bad.
Yeah,
ones.
not bad. No bad games on this list.
I don't sound like that.
What are you talking about? When no one was making it. Doing an
I
impersonation of you?
made a and then Hugh likes to go like that.
Oh.
What are you, French?
I was going to say, I'm not making
Yeah.
a weird racist facsimile of a French person.
Whoa. Let's talk about video
Okay.
games.
Okay, back to the
Yeah,
games.
Kelsey, pick a game to cut. Kelsey's like PUBG.
Well, now that you spoiled it, I'll pick something else.
Yeah, okay.
Fire Emblem?
Yeah. That's
It's
okay.
good, but no.
Yeah.
That was the remake one, right, Matt?
Yeah. It was like I played a lot of it, but it was nothing special.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Down to 39.
Down to 39 games. Justin. Cut.
Doki Doki Literature Club?
I didn't play Doki Doki Literature Club.
I didn't play it.
I
heard
like
it's
it,
really
but it's
good.
not a top 10. It's like,
Okay.
it's... Go on, Kelsey. Say.
It did interesting things, and I understand that it will not be a part of the top 10, but it did do really interesting things with its gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think it was very surprising,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that leads to the impact that it had, but I understand that it needs to be cut. Because I'm a mature adult, and when my
boy.
friends cut things,
Oh, boy.
I'm not upset.
Oh, boy.
You just got pissed about Sundered.
Yeah.
So
Injustice 2.
cork it for a little while.
I think that was the joke, Justin.
Yeah, I would like to play Doki Doki Literature Club. I've heard cool things about it.
It is cool.
But it's gone. All right. You just cut that, right, Justin? Was that you who cut that?
That was oh yeah, I did. That's right. Kelsey talked more than I did about it, so I lost track of who was who.
I'm gonna cut. Well, actually, I'm gonna cut a game off the list because none of us played it. That it was a former host's game that I don't know if it was talked about. All right, and then I'm gonna cut Miracler. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it.
is.
It's a mobile game. I know that. It's like a visual novel. Anyone else play it?
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
Murdered.
it's cut then.
So naturally, it lasted longer than most of the games that we just
You know, naturally, it lasted longer than Star Wars Battlefront 2.
But I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 was one of those like big titles that was like
Yeah.
we
had
it's
to
like
go.
enjoyed.
I know,
to an
it was just
extent,
funny that there were
but
all
it's
these
just
games
like-
that like none of us had played or.
Like, there are people on this podcast who have openly liked that game, and
Yeah.
it was like one of the first ones to go. I was like, get this out of here. Miracler, we don't know what that is, but make sure it lasts longer than Star Wars.
I didn't even notice it until it got cut.
Right. Yeah.
So should I cut something else?
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay. I'm gonna take Tokyo 42.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Neat game.
Neat game. Taking it off this list. We're back around to Matt. Make a cut. A little more difficult now.
Let's cut. Oh, because I'm
not that
looking to
hard,
see
though.
it. Well, I don't want to, because there are some games on this list that I'm like, okay, that's going to mean something to this person. We talked about Hellblade earlier. No one seemed too passionate about that.
Yeah, I'm okay cutting Hellblade. It's not going to be in
Yeah.
our top 10.
In the 4 years of this podcast, I've played a bunch of games on the recommendation of other people. Like, I really like this, you have to play it. I haven't hated a game more than Hellblade in that time. I actively hated playing Hellblade.
I could show you the text messages from Justin while
The gameplay side of that game is frustrating as all hell, but like I said earlier, the
There are
aesthetic and presentation of that game is it does some really cool things. Like what it does with sound in that game is really clever, and I think in terms of like the effort they went to present sort of the psychosis side of Senua was really cool. And it
yeah, and what I'll
worked.
say for it too. Oh, sorry, Hugh. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No,
Sorry.
it's fine. Cool.
Sorry. What I was going to say too is I think that it sets a mark at least for how good looking a quote unquote budget game
Yes,
can be.
give it
like
that.
it was a $30 game and it looked
Very
like,
good.
amazing. Like the facial animation, it had that same Ninja Theory level of quality they had put into that DMC game and the stuff they had done, and it brought it to this $30 game, and also a great performance by not even an actress. Like she was their video editor, and she was like they did tests with her, and they're like, oh, to see how it worked, and like, oh my god, she's so good, we're gonna keep her in it. But I agree. I think that the gameplay is so repetitive, and I feel like it could have even been even shorter than it was, and it would have been more effective.
She walked quietly through the woods.
Oh, you didn't like the sound stuff. The sound stuff is amazing.
Hated it.
I know it's so that's crazy to me. But anyway, it's not gonna be a top 10 game. Hellblade is off the list. Was that was Matt, right?
Matt's
me.
pick.
Okay, Hugh, make a pick.
I will cut Metroid: Samus Return.
That's probably
Nope.
not going to fly.
No,
Not
no,
yet.
No.
I mean, not yet.
Like
We're
that's-
saying if it doesn't make the top 10.
I think it might be a top 10
It's in
game.
my top five.
Okay,
Hugh,
all right, fine, fine, fine.
It's my number one.
Jolly goddamn beans. Let's cut something
How
out.
did you not read the room on that, Hugh? I love you.
I don't care about the room.
Let's cut Zelda. Anybody?
This is like
It's not.
this is like Hugh. This is like the only year it will ever be possible that Samus, Link, and Mario can be in a top 10.
Doesn't mean it should.
That game
Kind of does. It's good.
I'm not saying it's a top 10.
We're
I'm
gonna-
not saying
we'll
it's a
get
top
to
10
this later.
game.
That's what I'm
It's just
saying.
not
Make
yet.
Last
Make another
year
pick.
was the first year where Brexit and Donald Trump could have been elected. Let's fucking do it.
And we went with it.
There's
so-
still other games that are such easy cuts.
I know.
It's like you guys have never done this
Hugh,
before.
make a cut.
I haven't.
You're
Matt-
fine.
Matt has not.
Jesus, Golf Story.
Yeah, Golf Story can go.
Golf Story is a good game.
Golf Story is a very good game, but it's not a top 10 game. It overstays its welcome.
Like Metroid.
All right.
You don't even mean it.
I know.
Kelsey, cut a game.
I don't even know whose gears he's trying to grind right now. Kelsey, go ahead.
Everybody's.
Different face from Kelsey now.
I know.
Sticking straight out of her mouth.
Michael Jordan over here.
Just gonna.
Tacoma.
We can cut Tacoma. It's just so funny the games we're cutting already. Yeah, Tacoma can go. It's a good game. It's not a top 10.
There are a few games that like. Okay, we're getting a little closer into it now.
We are.
But
Justin, cut something.
all right, so I'm gonna cut a game. I'm gonna cut Late Shift.
Yeah, we can definitely cut Late Shift.
Yeah.
Late Shift is a cool game. It's a cool FMV game. It does some really interesting stuff. It looks really good. Like the filmmaking aspect of it is really good. But that's not a top 10 game.
And it was published by a Welsh gaming publishing company.
It's true. It was.
So then it should have been cut like almost immediately.
I will say though, if you like adventure games or FMV games, it's like $6 or something now. Pick it up and buy it. It takes like 2 or 3 hours. It has really interesting branching path stuff. It's very good, but it's not a top 10 game. I'm going to cut South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Okay.
That's fine.
I don't think any of us played enough of that game for it to be a top 10 game of the year for us. All right, South Park's out. Matt, make a cut.
I am going to cut one that I put on the list. Type Shift.
So
I
good
think-
though.
Yeah, I think Type Shift's a really, really smart game. It's a really fun, addictive game.
It makes
but
me
it's
feel
not-
really stupid.
Yeah, it's not perfect. I mean, it's you know,
Yeah.
it could be worse though. It could have like Batman and Superman in stupid costumes fighting each other, but it can go.
All right, Type Shift's gone. Type Shift is
No
a really
rebuttal.
cool
Oh,
mobile
wow.
game. It's really cool. It's like
I think
it's like-
Kelsey's just filing that one for future reference.
I know.
It's like modified crossword puzzle stuff. It's really neat. It's a really
Yeah,
neat
it's
game.
neat. It's a neat
Yeah,
game.
I would say definitely check it out. Hugh,
Super Mario Odyssey.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Finally cutting the obvious games.
I like this game, but I don't think it's a top 10 personally. So Next Machina.
Totally fine. Cut it.
Yeah, totally fine.
Yeah,
Cutting next.
I did have good fun with that game. If you like top-down shooters / Smash TV type things, check it out. It's a good
Still-
one.
Probably the last one they do.
Well, didn't they do the other one after that?
Yeah, they did
Matterfall,
Matterfall, but
right.
it wasn't like
Right, it was like a character.
Yeah,
Character, right?
it
Yeah,
wasn't
okay.
top down.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right, Kelsey, cut a game.
I'm nervous with Kelsey.
I know, I don't know, no idea what Kelsey's gonna
seriously go
cut.
for blood at any time. It's like I'm not ready to defend myself yet. All right, Kelsey,
Now
go.
it's tense. Yeah.
Yeah, now we're close to the point where there's going to be
The
some.
Evil Within 2.
Yes, we can cut the evil within.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was still on the list.
Yeah, me neither. I just saw it there.
Well done, Kelsey. Well done.
Well done, Kelsey.
Okay.
Kelsey waited till the last easy pick to make an actual easy pick.
Keeping it clean.
How strong does anybody feel about butterfly soup?
I know Kelsey
Very
feels pretty
strongly.
Kelsey feels
Okay,
pretty
that's
strongly
fine.
about it.
I just
Yeah.
By the way,
this is what we do. We ask like
yeah, the product. I just want to say we added those games that you should play to the side of this doc.
Kelsey adds nothing.
Kelsey added something today.
Yeah.
We've had this stock up for 6 months.
Oh, it's so nice that someone else is getting in trouble for this.
Matt waited till like 2 weeks before Game of the Year, but at least he added it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if butterfly soup sticks around, I will cut Pyre.
Okay. All right. That it's just I never
It's a
I
hard
never
game.
got into it.
It's
it never
hard.
clicked to me.
The story takes a while to get going, and then once the story gets going, you become very tired of playing the actual sport game of it. So it's like the sport game's fun in the beginning, story's like kind of eh. But the longer you go, the story becomes the lead, and the basketball game becomes like, I wish I didn't have to do this. And you're sending people back to the land of the living or whatever
Right,
it is out of this bad place. But when you do that, you lose them on the basketball team. So you don't want to get rid of the characters that you really like, but if you really like them, you want to see them succeed, so you want them to go.
Right, yeah.
It's a weird game, but
Yeah.
it's not going to make top 10.
We had this. Justin and I have this eternal struggle between Bastion and Transistor about which game is the better game. From
Blatantly
Supergiant.
Bastion.
Yeah, it's obviously Hugh.
It is
but-
100% Transistor.
But we thought this was going to be the one that might maybe united us.
It united us, just not in the way we
It's
thought.
just I'm like I don't know.
Yeah, United is United. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. So it's me, right?
Yep,
Oh man. Oh boy. Prey.
it's fine.
We can cut Prey.
It's
right?
not going to make top 10.
Yeah.
Over the year, my feelings about Prey, I thought have gotten better the further I got away from those loading times, but it's still not going to hang on top 10.
It's fair.
That's the only part about Prey I really disliked was like how long it took to load on console.
Yeah. All right. So Matt, we're back around to you.
All right, hear me out. This isn't a jokey answer, but is Wolfenstein 2 the new Colossus really going to make it?
Yes. Like I think it makes it way further than
I think
this
at least it's in the deep conversation for top
for top 10.
Okay.
It might get in there around 10, but I don't think it could be cut right now.
Yeah, this is with the gameplay and everything. Like I was just.
It's just one of those classic games. Not classic, but it's one of those interesting situations where it does one thing so incredibly
Right.
well
Yes.
that it almost overrides the thing it just does mediocrely. You know. But anyway, doing their game, Matt.
Okay. Mario and Rabbids. I'm not trying to cut anyone's darlings here, but
Nope.
Mario Rabbids
Okay.
is on my top 10.
Mine too.
Okay.
Where in your top 10?
7.
It's in my top 10. I'm going to say
Okay.
that. I don't want to get there.
right.
I don't want to get there yet.
All right, we can. We're getting to the point where we might have to like sit down and just go through this list and be like, what are locks, and figure out how many games we're actually working with here to get into the top 10. Matt, you can either pick another game to cut, or you can pass it along to Hugh to try to cut something.
the last one I'm going to just make an attempt at. What about Uncharted?
I'm okay with Uncharted not making the top 10.
Uncharted's not in my top 10 list,
Yeah,
but it's
same.
close to it, but it's not going to be there for me.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good game. It might be the best Uncharted game.
Uncharted game. Yeah.
You know? Because I think it does what Uncharted has done poorly in the last couple of iterations, which is it didn't have any fat on it. You know, it was like,
Sure.
okay, we're going to give you an 8-hour thing. It's going to be all fun. The characters are interesting. And it got rid of the chuff. Like Uncharted 4 was amazing, but it was like 5 hours too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed to get rid of some of them.
And I think Uncharted Lost Legacy kind of like typifies 2017 as a year, because any other year you could say that may well be in people's, not necessarily like outright game of the year, but like top fives. But there was just so much last year that would just stand out. Like, I think will be regarded as classic games, that it's, it's amazing to think that last year was so good that something like that game could be outside of a top 10.
I think any other year, it's a top 10 game.
Yeah, I could see that.
But this year, it's not a top 10 game. So
I think any of my top 7 games could win Game of the Year pretty much any year. Any other year than this one.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I thought you were saying in general, any year, all of my 7 games are better than anybody else's.
No, I was just saying, like, there were so many good games this year that, I found the numbering this year to be harder than any other year.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Okay, so, Hugh, we're on to you.
Oh, fuck. How does the room feel about Battle Chef Brigade?
Kelsey?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Are you sure?
It's fine.
It's a good, fun game, but I think only one side of it is fun. Like, part of it isn't really fun, so... Not that it's bad.
She said she was okay cutting it. You don't have to knife her as you go out the door.
Rip the Band-Aid, please. Like, leave me alone.
I am going to play that game.
He was like, you said we can cut it? Well, let me just tell you what I didn't like about the game, all right?
That's fine. Oh, hang on. Are we not allowed to talk about the game?
I'm just joking with you, Hugh. I'm just giving you some shit.
Christ.
Okay.
I'm going to play that game when it comes to PS4. That's what I've been waiting for.
But
it's
you
a great game.
You are correct, Hugh. Half of the game is very good, but the part where you actually fight the monsters is just kind of like,
So he shits down my throat and then agrees with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's my way. Battleship is gone. That's my way.
I'm sorry,
Kelsey, you're up.
I hate going right after Kelsey. I feel terrified right now because I feel like she's looking at me like, what could I make Justin upset with?
Kelsey,
I think I would put Bury Me, My Love. I think, like, I know it won't be in the top 10, and even though it was, like, a really great story, I just think compared to all these other games, like, it's not realistic to put it on.
Okay. All right. I mean, yes, I agree with you, Kelsey. I'm glad it got its props during the best story conversation, because it is a very, I think, impactful and important game.
Right, now we're in it.
Now, we're weighted deep in. There are 22 games left on this list, by the way. People don't know.
All of which I think in other years could possibly be argued for by at least one of us for being number one.
I agree with you.
I say when we get to 20 games, we
start locking.
We read the list for the listeners.
Yeah.
And maybe shift how we approach the rest of it.
I agree with you, Matt. I totally agree with you. Yeah. Justin. So it'll be after I go, actually. That'll be perfect.
Resident Evil 7.
No way.
No, man. The back half of that game is not good.
No way. No. We're not at that point yet.
Okay, so my other choice is looking at this list, knowing what people like, and then knowing what are locks. Like, let's cut Life is Strange.
Kelsey's brow furrows. And she prepares a rebuttal. She speaks.
I guess.
Here's I finished the game the other day, and I think we cut our most surprising category for time earlier in the thing, and I think that Life is Strange Before the Storm is an extremely surprising game because it is a prequel made by a different studio with different voice actors than the original, and it's still really good, and it really works, and it goes for things goes for such small stakes storytelling that like most games just do not go for. Like it is the game in that game. It is just as important that you put together a more powerful like star globe thing to project stars on your girlfriend's ceiling as it is, you figure out who this mysterious woman is who's coming to town, who's causing all this trouble. And I think that it doing that is really impressive. But I do think that looking at this list of games, I don't think it makes the top 10 of these games. But you're okay cutting it, Kelsey? You're okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Life is Strange Before the Storm is gone. All right. So let me see. I have the last nominee here. Oof. How much resistance, Matt, am I gonna get to saying I don't want Sonic Mania in our top 10?
I get it, but I have my top 5, and I want to defend them until the bitter end. But if
I understand, if you don't want to cut it yet, I get it.
But the thing is, look, just because it's my number, say 4, if no one else is gonna love it, that doesn't mean it means it's not gonna survive. So if God, it's just a really good game. But yeah, it's if something's got to go.
My other nominee would have been Splatoon 2, so I don't.
Oh, fucking get rid of Splatoon 2. Jesus Christ.
Kelsey looks so damaged right now.
Kelsey's gone through the ringer so far.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. That is actually fair. I can let Splatoon live, take Sonic.
Okay. Sonic is off this list.
Yeah.
All right, we have 20 games.
We have 20 games. I'll read down this list of 20.
Sure.
We've got Horizon Zero Dawn, Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, Destiny 2, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Splatoon 2, What Remains of Edith Finch, SteamWorld Dig 2, Cuphead, Resident Evil 7, Nier Automata, Metroid Samus Returns, Night in the Woods, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Dream Daddy, Butterfly Soup, Injustice 2, Persona 5, and Assassin's Creed Origins.
That's like 15 really good games.
I agree with that. So let's talk about games that we think are going to be locks here. Okay, so we know, we're not going to bring them up, and we're going to know how many places we actually have in this top 10. So I'm just going to say this. I think the top 3 that are right on this list are locks. Horizon, Mario, and Zelda are all locks.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would also add Cuphead to that list.
I agree with Cuphead.
Let's.
I think there's enough. I think there's enough resistance on Cuphead. We're gonna have to wait for it to be a lock.
You guys are out of your.
I'm not saying it's not.
Look, I believe that it probably is. I just
these
think
are just like.
All right,
there's no
fine.
way this isn't making it. Yeah. Let's be fair. I know that Kelsey and Matt are gonna be snipey. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is gonna be in our top 10 games of the year.
Kelsey, you're gonna lose this battle.
You're all gonna lose.
Why? Let's get this out of the way now.
No, we're not gonna have the argument yet. Okay. We're not gonna have the argument yet. I'm just saying, these are the games that are locked. Okay. Zelda, Horizon, Mario, and PUBG are all. I'm taking them off this top list here. PUBG
It's 12.
leaves us 16 games.
I know. I was saying where it was.
Oh, okay, yeah. These are 16 games for six spots. 6 spots. All right, Legend of Zelda and Mario Odyssey. Okay. Oh, it's doing weird thing where it's not letting me type. Okay. Okay, I spelled that wrong, but it's okay. Okay. So now we have these 16 games up here on the top half, and we have these 4 games on the bottom that that are locked in. All right. So, how do we want to do this? Do we want to go okay, I want to talk about a game I want to be on the top 10?
I say we do more cuts.
You think we're gonna do more cuts?
I think we should do one more round of cuts.
Oh.
Because that'll get it down. We have 16. That'll get it down to 11.
Okay.
For 6 spots.
Okay.
Then we battle.
Okay. All right. So I went last. So Matt, you're up first. Good luck.
SteamWorld Dig 2.
Oh, man.
I know.
SteamWorld Dig 2 is such a fucking great game. It is like...
All
is
of
very
these
good.
games are.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying it has an amazingly satisfying gameplay loop. It has one of, I think, the most effective like leveling up, like gathering gear like system I've ever played in a game like this. It's both like it does like the Metroidvania thing so well. It's got a great style. It's got great. I love the music. I love both like the platforming, like sort of like side areas, and just like the act of like, I'm gonna dig right down this dirt and pick up this stuff and bring it back to the town and sell it. It's so good. It's such a good game. It takes what was already a good game in the first game and takes it to a whole other level. I know that I'm not gonna have the support for it to be in the top 10 in here, and to be honest, it's not in my top 5. It's probably in the 7 to 10 range in my personal top 10. So I'm okay cutting it, but it is such a good game. It is such a fucking good game. But there are other games that I wish to battle more for on this list. So SteamWorld Dig 2 is gone. Hugh.
I quit. Bye. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's a good game.
I'm probably gonna get some shit for this.
Anybody's going to get shit for anything at this point, Hugh, so don't worry.
Dream Daddy.
I can't. Not yet. I can't.
Okay, all right. I'll pick something else.
Sorry, man. It's like my third.
Okay, that's fine. If it's that high up your list, then I will.
Yeah.
Injustice 2.
Kelsey just gave a death look.
Kelsey.
I think Injustice 2's time is coming up, Kelsey.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I just think it was really fun and the animation was really good and that it was 20 times better than the first one.
I like the story in the first one much better than the story.
I like the story in the first one too a little better, but I will say that I think that like the facial animations in Injustice 2 are pretty spectacular.
They are really good.
They look really good.
I hate it. Go ahead. No, Kelsey,
Sorry,
please.
The only reason why I wouldn't keep it on is because I had a lot of problems with the defense mechanisms in the first part of the game, so like I can understand that it doesn't make it.
It's a good game. It's a very, very good game. Someone say it was the 15th best game of the year.
By and large, I intensely dislike fighting games because I'm not very good at them. But that game presents itself so well that it made what's around the fights enjoyable for me. So like, I will give that game its dues, but not for me.
All right. Here it goes. Injustice 2 is gone.
May she sail well.
That was Hugh, right? So Kelsey, it's your turn to pick one.
I'll cut one of mine. I'll cut Butterfly Soup. It was a really great game, a really great story, and I really identified with all the characters, but I understand that it's not a top 10. Like, it's in my top 10, but I understand that it won't be, like, a group top 10.
I wish I had played it, because I heard such great things about it, and I just didn't get around to playing it. I heard the story was really, really good, and I just didn't get around to it. All right. You sure, Kelsey? Butterfly Soup?
Yeah.
All right. Kelsey's putting herself through the ringer.
She really is.
All right. Butterfly Soup is gone. Justin.
How strongly do we feel about Persona?
I feel... I mean, look, I like it more than a bunch of the games that are left on this list, obviously. But that's not the point of this, right? It's not like, what is Bobby's top 10? It's not the point of this. I could see Persona 5 not being in our site top 10. I mean, you're the other person who really played a bunch of it.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you think?
I love that game, and again, like, to like sound like a skipping record, any other year, I think this would be a top 10 game. But personally, like, I love it, like presentation, so on and so forth. But I think I didn't play it to conclusion because it was just too long for me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would be happy with it being cut because it's not on my personal 10 as much as I loved it.
All right, Persona is gone. All right. One of these games with a 2 on it is gonna get cut. Man. Man, this is tough. I don't know. I'm gonna. I'm picking between
All right.
3 games. I know 2 of which Justin will want to stab me for, and 1 of which Kelsey will want to stab me for.
What's the 2 that you think I'm going to stab you for?
Destiny 2 and Assassin's Creed Origins.
I will make your life easy. I will give you Destiny.
Okay.
Destiny is not in my top 10 games of the year.
Oh, wow.
Likewise. It's not
Oh,
mine
okay.
either.
Oh, that thing should have died long ago.
I know, right?
I love Destiny a lot. It was the last game I cut off my top 10.
I think Justin was just hoping that nobody would talk about it.
No.
Oh, Destiny 2 is somehow on these 10 games that are left on this list.
I really love Destiny, but it's not it wouldn't be fair for me to say, yes, it belongs in our top 10 when it's not in my top 10, and I know that Kelsey really loves Splatoon.
So that text message really swayed you yesterday.
Oh, no. Splatoon can go next for all I care. But as long as it's not, it just... I mean, we're going to talk about Destiny for a second. Destiny 2 is really good. It's... Aside from all the way that Bungie is constantly messing it up.
Yeah, but
take it the core game experience.
Yeah.
The problem with Destiny 2 is they made it so much easier to play than the first game, and people were looking for a live game that they can come back to forever. And after 50 hours, it's like, I have everything in the game. What do? You put the game down.
Yeah.
But people can't accept that.
But they kind of set that up for themselves, right? Because with the first game, it's funny because I hate saying this because I hate when people are like, when you want something from a game and then it does that thing and then you complain about the thing that it does. But for me, Destiny 2 just went a little bit too far back the other way.
Yeah.
I miss a little bit. I want a little bit of the mystery of Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Where it's I don't quite know how to do this thing. I lucked into it. There was something a little bit Dark Souls, right, about Destiny 1 where it was oh, I walked over here and this weird thing happened. I don't understand why it happened, And they got rid of all of that stuff in service of making the game friendlier to play and definitely more respectful of your time while playing the game. But
They made it too friendly.
They made it too friendly.
Too respectful of your
Yeah, they made it
time.
too respectful. I don't know where that line is because it's a really tough one to do, but that's why I'm not a game developer. But that was, I think, my problem with Destiny 2.
Yeah, I was
And also,
speaking to
go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead, Hugh.
go ahead, Hugh.
I was speaking. It was just a quick thing. I was speaking to a friend the other day about it, and I just said to him, I was just like, for me, Destiny 2 just isn't, and it's a bit of an obtuse way to put it, but it's just not as interesting to me as the first game. I bought the season pass and I have the I can play the DLC, but I just haven't gone back to Destiny 2 since any other DLC came back because I just don't feel motivated to. I think I've had my fill of the game, whereas the original Destiny, I put probably around 200 hours into that game. I don't know whether it was a law of diminishing returns, but that being said, it was still a very, very fun video game, and I enjoyed my time with it greatly.
Absolutely. So I cut Destiny 2, so we're down to 11 games that we need to get 6 out of to put onto this top 10. So do we want to? I don't know if we can just keep going. Let's cut games because I think there's going to be huge fights on all of these things.
I can make this list one smaller.
Okay. By how? What are you going to cut that no one's going to care about?
I think I know one.
I mean, I'm shocked Resident Evil is still here, but
Dude, Resident Evil is my number 4 favorite game of the year or something.
we played
It's
a bunch
my
of bad
5,
games this
so
year.
yeah.
It's okay at best.
So's your face.
Oh,
I'm lying.
Okay.
I love your face, Justin.
Okay. I will lay down Rabbids. It's not going to get past some of you guys into the top 10. And there's other battles I'd rather have.
I would join you fighting for rabbits.
I
It's
know,
7
but
on my
it's like-
personal
like-
list, but
It's 7 on my personal list as well, but that's not going to be enough to push it into the top 10. Not with like Resident Evil sticking around for some reason.
No one has talked much about What Remains of Edith Finch.
Bobby's going to go hard for that
Yeah,
game. That's
yeah.
why I didn't even bother.
Okay.
Resident Evil's number 4. That's my that's my number 4. Resident Evil's number 5. So
rabbits is 7 and Edith Finch is 8 for me.
Yeah, Rabbids isn't. I don't know if Rabbids is going to get into the top 10.
I think I would say you and I, Justin, were probably the two who have the sort of strongest feelings towards that game, and this is our collective one. So unless we all agree that it deserves to be there, then that's
It
fine.
shouldn't have worked. Like
No,
it's
it shouldn't have.
it's a bad idea for the Mario and Rabbids to come together, and it was like a weird idea to give it to Ubisoft, and they did really well with it.
they did, and it's a good game. It's like circling the edge of my top 10 right now. It's like every other, like, I'm trying to figure out like what number 10 is. It's like going on and off of it. But I just don't, I think that, like, unless Matt, I know you played some of it, right? Do you have any strong feelings about it to be on this top 10 list? Mario and
About-
Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh no! I have no connection. to
Okay.
it.
Okay, cut
All
it.
right. You're the one who brought it up.
I know, for the better of the group.
Yeah, but like I think that was a
For
very
Mankind.
sort of like aware cut to make.
For the glory of mankind.
Yes.
I have fights elsewhere.
All right. Well, you cut that, so I guess should we just? Here's what I think. I think that right now we're not getting to the point where it's going to be easy, right? Where no one's going to say like, "Oh, cut this." Everyone's like, "Yeah, okay, we can just cut this off the list." And so I think that either next person can bring up a game they want to talk about and possibly cut, or we can start saying, "I think this should be in the top 10. This is why."
Okay.
All right, I have another game. Here's where we have the conversation about a few games, leading with Wolfenstein.
Justin's just going off.
I'm going off.
He's going off.
I'm about yes. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, we didn't know if Wolfenstein was going to make the top 10. So, like, I feel like this is the time that we should talk about it.
Agreed.
It's my number 10 game of the year. It does its one thing really well, like you said before. It does its story, and its story is really good. It's a middle chapter of a story, which leads the ending to feel like a little bit cut off. It's less fun to play than the first one by far.
The gameplay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that it like regressed. It's strange.
It's more actiony than stealth, and I felt the first game had
Yeah,
a better
yeah.
stealth component to it.
Yeah.
And while it has some really wild environments, like walking around Roswell, walking around your house, there is a lot
sequence is so
of corridors in that game. Even being on Venus
yeah. No.
didn't
yeah.
have the same impact as being on the moon.
No, it
if you had
didn't, no.
if you had taken away the heat index thing from Venus, and just told me I was outside some facility in Nevada, I would have believed you.
Right. Yeah.
There should have been more visually there.
Yeah. When you weren't in cutscenes for the most part,
Yeah.
it was nothing remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
The
Like,
gameplay's-
I
the
enjoy.
gameplay's-
Like Roswell was amazing. But
Yeah,
like,
Roswell's good.
That was a really good place. But even when you're in your house, right? It's only when you're in like those little cutscene moments where it's really effective.
Like the nuked New York City should have been more effective than it was. Like, you should have given me the ability to see like devastation on a larger scale than the street that I'm on or these buildings that are in are blown to hell.
Instead, it was just like a poorly designed level because it was just confusing where you were trying to go. Everything looked the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense for like what it was, but it's just not. It was
And like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy like running around shooting things.
Yeah.
And that game does it in spades, but it also is it is a hard game.
Yeah.
And for me, like that end of the game doesn't hold up its half enough
No.
to push it for me further on this list.
I know people have said this before, but if like this game had like the Doom combat,
It would be the runaway winner.
it would
like,
be an amazing game.
yeah.
But it's just like it's just missing that part of it. And you know when the New Order came out, I remember people saying like, "Oh, the gameplay's just fine," But like I had a really good time playing the New Order.
Yeah, I did.
And I did not have that same good time when I was shooting things in this game. I was like, all right, let's just get through the shooting so I can get to the cutscene.
It really wants you to run and gun.
Yeah.
It wants you to like get out 2 guns, run around in a circle. Where I like playing those games as let me stand behind this pillar, peek out, shoot.
Right.
And yeah, you need some top level reflexes to play that game running and gunning.
And running and gunning is fine, but like the level design wasn't interesting. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
it's
like I
not.
was like doing multi-level stuff and like, it just came. So I'm okay cutting it.
One of
Sorry,
my
go
big
ahead.
frustrations with that game was like navigating some of the levels because
Yes,
it has that
absolutely.
ability in it where it can be like you need to go here, but it's really poorly like integrated, and like there was a few times where I was playing levels and I was just like, I can't like. Nothing frustrates me more in a video game than when you get to the point where you're just like, I cannot find where the fuck I'm supposed to go.
Right.
A few times in Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
that happened to me, and it really annoyed me. But I agree with you, Bobby, when you were saying, like, there was times when I was playing purely to get to the next, like, cutscene.
Yeah.
And some of them are brilliant, like the one where they're having the
Yes.
the party on the submarine and they're all getting wasted and stuff. That was like hilarious, and
Yeah.
like you could do some really cool things in that game. But I don't think gameplay wise, again, agreeing with you guys, it just doesn't feel like as good a game to play
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the first one.
Agreed. So we can cut Wolfenstein 2?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not expect that to happen. I'm totally okay with that, but it's not in my top 10. But
And I don't think this is. I mean, I know it's already cut, but I don't think this is a fair argument against it. But like, I look at a lot of these games. There's no way I'm ever going back to Wolfenstein 2. You know,
No.
like there's no way I'm.
I mean, whatever your criteria is your criteria, right? I mean, that's like
Sure.
this is all sort of like subjective, so it matters. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's fair.
But and again, we're to the point now where we're in like the top 13 games of the year. So like these are all great games and all worth playing, but we have to get this list down. You wanted to bring up another game, Justin? You said you had multiple games you wanted to bring up.
No. This now we're in it. We're really in it. This is where the knives come out.
Can I say something?
Yes,
always.
please.
Yeah, of course, Kelsey. No, Kelsey, you can't say anything.
I don't know why isn't Night in the Woods locked? Like it.
Oh, yeah, I know you're
talked about it
right,
for
Kelsey.
An hour.
Kelsey
You're right.
has
In all the
an
categories.
Kelsey has a good
agree.
point. Yeah.
I agree.
I don't think anyone
Thank
can
you,
argue
Kelsey,
Night in
for
the
bringing
Woods.
some sense to this podcast.
You're okay with that, Justin, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Night in the Woods in my top
Yeah,
10.
Justin and I, like before this, were like, oh man, we're never gonna get Night in the Woods on the top 10. Like we really thought it was gonna miss.
No,
and now
I
it's
think
really locked.
Night in Woods is one of those games that it just stands out. Like it's such a good game and does what it does.
Well, let's wait to talk about Night in the Woods till we're ranking these because it's on the list. So, yes, Matt, go ahead.
Is Assassin's Creed on this list?
It's not going to be, but it is my number 5 game of the year.
It's not in my personal 10. No, I again, any other year, maybe, but it's not in my personal 10. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I just can't. I've heard how great it was. You've told me how great it is. I have no like bad feelings about it. I just don't have any.
And
I don't have enough knowledge of it to talk about it.
I'm someone who has been in the past incredibly negative about Assassin's Creed games. So for me to play an Assassin's Creed game and not only that, but enjoy it as well, because I think it takes out everything that used to annoy the hell out of me in Assassin's Creed games.
Assassin's Creed is higher on my list than Horizon.
Wow.
I
Oh.
like Assassin's Creed better than Horizon.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. I did not
Hold
expect
on,
that
hold
at
on,
all.
hold on.
So is Horizon a lock then?
It's yes, exactly.
Horizon's my number 4.
It is in my Horizon is in my top 10.
I know that, but I was assuming that like
Sonic was my number 4, man.
I was
Like,
assuming that you and Hugh were gonna be like it's gonna be in your
I
top
like-
3.
no.
That's why I was like it's a lock.
Horizon's outside my top 5.
I mean, I have no dog in this fight, but like
I like Horizon a lot, but if it got cut from the top 10, I would not lose sleep.
Hugh, I know you love it, so I'm not going to just cut off.
Here's the thing for me, right? Here's the thing for me. I'm just going to talk for a second about Horizon versus Assassin's Creed Origins. I think Horizon is a better looking game. I think the story is give or take, depending on what you like. I like both. Mm-hmm. And I think the bigger surprise for me was that I like Assassin's Creed's origin story at all compared to Horizon's, because I really liked Horizon in the beginning of the year. The difference between the two games is, and I absolutely hate when people say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, is Horizon feels like a world that you live in. Assassin's Creed feels like a world you live in. Horizon feels like a world that I just visited and I couldn't really interact with in a meaningful way. So in Horizon, in Assassin's Creed, I am climbing on whatever I want. I'm exploring. I'm looking for tombs. I'm seeking out nook and cranny. I'm diving under the water looking for treasure. Where in Horizon, I have this world that I am going pretty much from point A to point B because there's not much room for exploration for me to find hidden tombs or not. I forget what they call them, where you get those abilities by fighting.
I am so shocked about that. You're making the exact argument I was going to make against Horizon, and it's like amazing to me.
This is why we don't. This is why I purposely been keeping stuff on the down low. I haven't talked about Horizon in a while because, like, as it was always in my top 5, and then the more games I played, it kept dropping, and then for me, it came to what do I like better, and I struggled with this for like a good 2 weeks after finishing Assassin's Creed. And it's this place that I visited, and I think they're really cool sites, and it is a cool story, and the info dump they give you in the second half of the game is great in Horizon. But, like, I wish Horizon gave me the ability to climb whatever I wanted, especially after playing Zelda, and then being like, cool, it's cool, I can climb all this stuff. But then in Assassin's Creed, one of my biggest issues was I can't climb everything. In Assassin's Creed, I can now climb everything. I'm exploring, I'm finding tombs, I'm learning things, and in Horizon, it's like I enjoyed great swaths of that game, but like it didn't fill the void. It didn't hit every mark the way that Assassin's Creed did for me. It's not like it didn't check any boxes, but just Assassin's Creed checked more boxes for me.
What it felt like, and I'm just going to speak about, and again, I didn't play enough Horizon to speak on this in full, but what it felt like to me was what happened. Horizon came out, and Horizon to me felt a lot like, here is like pretty much as good as like this kind of like traditional open world game that we've been seeing for a while now could be. It did like everything right in that way.
See, but like
and then Zelda came out and was like,
I don't totally agree with that.
And it moved the ball a little bit. But that was such a different game. So it's like okay, yeah, it changes, but it's different. But then Assassin's Creed to me feels more like maybe that was actually the ceiling on that stuff.
Horizon is the greatest Far Cry. It is taking the Far Cry type open world game and perfecting it. Like, that's a different type of game than what Assassin's Creed and Zelda both are. Even Assassin's Creed and Zelda are different types of games. But like, to say that Horizon's open world, it is open world, but just in the fact that it lets you roam anywhere. Roaming anywhere in Horizon doesn't have any immediate payoff. There's like, cool, I found this small little tablet that'll give me like a little bit of backstory, but it's nothing like spectacular.
Right.
Nothing that's going to make you go like, oh wow, it was worth me going off the beaten path for this, where those other two games will give me a reason. Like stumbling into a tomb in Assassin's Creed and like going through and finding an ability point that I wasn't there, or finding one of those markers that gives you the weird alien part of Assassin's Creed that I am way into right now. I would rather see Assassin's Creed on this list than Horizon.
Wow, I didn't expect those words to come out of your mouth. I don't think he was going to agree with you, but I wanted to hear your reasoning.
No, this is a tough one because, like I said, I loved Assassin's Creed, and saying what you said about open world, I didn't play Horizon until September last year because I played Zelda first. And I have to, like, I won't have a bad word to say about Zelda, but I appreciated the fact that Horizon, as one of those, like an open world, so to speak, game, just all of the time was like, right, here's a side mission, here's a waypoint, follow this line, go there, do it, finish it off. And it was a much more like focused experience to me. and Assassin's Creed does that too. But I just think like the world in Horizon, okay, like you can't interact, like you said, where you can just walk up to a wall and be like, I want to climb this. But open world games, very few are like that anyway. So
Except for the 2 this year that let you do it.
but
That
yeah,
we're arguing against it with.
Yeah.
but my like in the world in Assassin's Creed, you're running around and there's a lot of people just shouting, just stuff, and it's in a language you can't understand. It's just there's traders and so okay, it adds like to the experience of being in that world. But in Horizon, you're running around and you hear people having like conversations that actually are like meaningful and add like depth to where you are and what the situation is in this world you're in. And like I think a lot should be said for Horizon Zero Dawn in terms of its like representation as well, because it's not a game where like the crux of the world is like it's in terms of like what you weave in and out as playing as Aloy is a matriarchy, which is something cool to see in a video game. But not only that, you look at like the breadth of like races of people who you come across in that game, and it like there's all types of everyone that you come across in that video game, and it's refreshing to see a video game making that effort to go like, although this is a fantasy world, if you live in a cosmopolitan society like we all do, this is what society is like. You come across people who look Asian, you come across people who look Native American, you come across women who are in powerful positions and stuff like that, and it just respectfully handles that stuff.
So the answer to can you see a top 10 without Horizon Zero Dawn? It's no, right?
No, but
Can I say something?
Yeah,
you can.
of course, Kelsey.
Stop asking. Just say.
I just don't understand how we can consider taking off Horizon Zero Dawn or Assassin's Creed and keep PUBG as a lock. I'm sorry. These two games sound so much more interesting.
Kelsey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is definitely my favorite multiplayer game of all time. Is my favorite multiplayer game of all time. It is the most satisfying game I have ever played in my entire life. It is not coming off this top 10, Kelsey. If you think it's not going to be in the top 3, you're crazy. So let's move on from that.
What the hell?
She doesn't stand alone.
I know that, but both of you are crazy. Neither of you played the game, so let's move on from what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, because it looked boring as fuck.
It's not boring. It is the most exciting game you'll ever play. I will tell you that right now. But let's move on. Let's kind of get these games in the other 5 games in this top 10. I'm going to propose something. Okay, I'm going to propose something right now. I'm going to propose Edith Finch, Cuphead, Nier, Metroid, and Assassin's Creed follow the rest of our top 10.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking.
I mean,
again,
I don't know.
I gotta get back to the list.
That's a lot.
I'm just gonna bold the ones that I said. Okay, just so you guys can see it. If you're looking at the doc.
In all honesty, like if we were to swap out Horizon with Assassin's Creed, I would be okay with that. Like I said, Assassin's Creed isn't in my personal top 10, but it's a fucking brilliant video game, and I think it deserves a lot of credit. Like everything Justin said about it, I agree with wholeheartedly, and I think
but we wouldn't be swapping it if we agreed to what Bobby said, right?
No, we wouldn't have to swap it. No, but there might be. I'm just putting something up there so we can get the conversation. We need to move this conversation along, so I want to put something up there we can talk about. I'm willing to lose Resident Evil 7 Like I love it to death, but I'm willing to lose it.
Who has Nier in their top 5?
Justin does. It's in my top 10, and I think it's an incredibly special game.
There's everything on this list. There's nothing else like it.
But
there isn't.
My argument there
I can
is
say that with so many games, man.
Really? All right, so here you go, Matt. So hang on, we're gonna have the Nier discussion right now.
Okay.
So Nier has you play through the game not once but twice. That's the audacity of that is ridiculous, right? But the second time you play Nier, you're getting more and more understanding of what happens throughout the first game, throughout the first thing. You're fighting the same boss, but now you're seeing what's going on in the boss's mind while you're fighting. You're understanding why the boss went mental and you're fighting him in the first place. Route B is fine. You want to say it's redundant? Redundant. Route C starts something completely new and your characters die. You play as a third character. There's a bad ending. You're getting a bad ending in one of these, right? So, all right, you got a bad ending. You fight the game's developers to get a good ending. You literally are in a spaceship shooting the credits, fighting the developers of this game because you believe in your heart of hearts that these people should have a happy ending, that they should break the cycle of destruction that they've been having for 1,000 years. Like, it is mental. The meta commentary that this game does, no other game has ever done. And you can't do it. You can't have this be a book or a movie. It has to be a game because you have to be experiencing it this way. Bobby's knocks against the game are the story of robots finding humanity isn't like a new concept, but the way that it handles its story and the way that like you grow to like be attached to these characters and the choice to like, I want these guys to be happy, so I'm going to sacrifice my entire game save wiped so that other people could experience this ending is wild. Like, it blows my mind.
What I'll say about Nier is I have a lot of issues with Nier, but what I think is that I think the audacity and the flair in which Nier achieves what it's doing deserves to be honored in this top 10. And here's what I think. Let me ask you, Matt. I highlighted these 5 games. Don't say what you want to take out, but what would you want in here that I didn't highlight?
By that argument, that a lot of what you just described is what Dream Daddy is to me. Like, that is a game that, one, the way they approached it cannot be told in any other medium. As far as what it's saying, I think it came out at a really good time. I think as far as representation is concerned, it is probably the best game of 2017. I have... the visual novel format is not one that I am, a huge fan of, but this one, it was something really special. I have not felt better about myself and the world after a video game than I had with Dream Daddy.
Okay, so
what if we do this?
Okay, go ahead, Justin.
I think the battle is coming down to is it Assassin's Creed or is it, if we want to get Dream Daddy on the list, and I understand what Matt's saying, and I can feel what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's going to be Assassin's Creed or it's going to be Horizon. So we know where I would rather Assassin's Creed than Horizon. He would rather Horizon than Assassin's Creed. So based on the arguments that the two of us have made, where does the rest of everybody else fall? Because I don't want to say, like, personally, I believe it's better. Hugh believes his is better. I'm not going to say, Hugh, you're wrong, I'm right.
Right, of course. Yeah,
so,
of course.
But like I said, it's another difficult one because I enjoyed both of those games immensely. And it's like, this is going down to like the finer points of those two games for me personally to figure out why I marginally prefer one over the other. That is, again, it's another one of those, and it's so friggin' difficult this year because there's just been so many good games. Not good games, exemplary games. Yeah. Like downright like modern classics, I'll even go as far to say. So it's incredibly hard to choose between two games, but I just think, like, personally, Horizon just pips the post for against Assassin's Creed.
I have no idea what that means.
I like the term though.
It's a great term. I've never heard it before.
I think it's a horse
did you do to
racing
the
reference.
Pip the post.
Pip the post.
Pipped at the post.
All right, so
yeah.
where does Hugh has Horizon, I have Assassin's Creed. Where does the three of you stand on if you had to, after hearing those debates, like how do you feel?
The thing is, like, I just don't have any dog in the fight, and like both of the games are not the type of games that like I react to strongly, you know? Like I'm thrown for a loop right now because
You expected me to fight
for Horizon so hard. So
I know.
like I
love blowing your mind.
I had all of these like discussions about why I thought Horizon shouldn't be like way up on the list. I never even thought
When you sent me that text message the other night, I was like, he has no
a question
idea.
about it making the list. What I was going to say before, and this is going to have to come down to what people think, and this is going to be more on you, Justin, than anything else. Like, because I can't make the call if it's Horizon or Assassin's Creed. But like, what if we? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do because I would think like. Sorry, guys. Go ahead, Hugh.
Well, I'm just thinking that like.
All right, here's an easy
Wait, let
fix
you go.
for this.
Let you go.
No, I have an easier fix.
Okay.
Hugh, where's Horizon on your top 10 list?
4.
Oh, okay.
Give it to Hugh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, so let's swap this out then. Let's say.
But I was just about to say, like, which of us like has their game higher on their list.
I have a lot of games.
It's funny.
In any other year, I mean, Assassin's Creed would be maybe my game of the year. It's like I did not expect that when I first started playing it. I told Bobby, "You should play this." He's like, "Do I really need to?" I'm like, "No, you don't." And then after like 30 hours, I was like, "Oh wow, this is really special."
Right.
And after
I mean,
50 hours,
I was incredibly impressed with it. Like I said, I've always, not always, like I enjoyed the first few Assassin's Creed games, but I got to the point where I just couldn't stand to play them because they frustrated the hell out of me. And this Assassin's Creed Origins is a very, very, very good Assassin's Creed game.
So
I'm pushing 2 of my other games into the top 10. So even though I love it, I'm fine with it going.
So what if we did into the top 10? We put Edith Finch, Cuphead, Nier, Metroid, and Dream Daddy into the top 10.
That's fine.
How do we feel about that as a group?
I have no issue with Resi 7 not making it because I understand why.
I have a big issue with that making it, but I'm letting it go.
Well, okay, like
we haven't heard from Kelsey. Well, go ahead, Hugh. Please finish, and then I want to hear from Kelsey.
No, I was just
going to
say, like, I like personally, I would like it to be on the 10 because I love Resident Evil, and that is like one of the best Resident Evil games. But I think in terms of overall, as this being our top 10 as a group, then I don't think the feeling overall is strong enough towards it for it to be there, which is fine. And
Right,
that's what
Kelsey,
we're
do you want to
doing.
talk about Splatoon?
No, I'm upset.
Why?
Because if we're gonna pick a shooter, I don't understand why Splatoon can't
All right.
be there.
Can we talk about the PUBG thing?
We can
Yes,
talk about it. We can
please.
talk about
Can
it.
we talk about
but
it?
it's like it's nuts to me. Like here's the thing, and this is not even about what you think of the actual game. Like in a group top 10 list, I've put 200 hours into that game. He was put like something like 150 hours into that game.
Mm-hmm.
Justin in a month has put 40 or 50 hours into that game, and we all love it. So and Gus just has some reservations. He isn't 100% all no reservations love it.
Yeah.
But like it is a massive favorite of this group of people. So like I understand if it's not your thing. I totally get it. And there are games on this thing that are not my thing either. But
Yeah.
like to sit here and discount it because you from the outside think it might be boring is I think a little bit unfair, Kelsey.
If there's one thing, Kelsey, about PUBG, because I haven't talked about it. Have I talked about it on the podcast?
No, you haven't.
I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast. So I have issues with this game. I do. From playing 50, 60 hours with Bobby and Andy, I have some issues with it. but it is the most intense game I've ever played in a team setting. Before this, I thought that one of the more intense things I've ever done in a team setting was one of the raids in Destiny on hard. Like, that is intense stuff. When we've gotten into, like, the final encounters where the circle is closing in and we are in the, like, you know, we're one of 10 people alive. And we don't know how many other groups there are. We don't know if they're full groups or half groups or whatever. And we don't know where the shots are coming from. And we are camped out in a spot and it is like, oh, God, we need to run. Do we do it now? Do we wait? Do you have healing? Should we use it now? Should we wait? I see a guy. Should I take the shot? No, don't take the shot. It is the most intense feeling I've had in a game in my life. In my life. And I love shooters. The game has issues, yes, 100%.
But what are your...
But I don't think that you can count the issues enough. Like, there's not enough issues for me to look at that overall experience I'm having when I'm playing it. And trust me, I get fucking furious at this game.
Yes, he does.
I get angry.
But I
But at the end of the day, it like the experience is so good and so tense and so dramatic that to me, it has to be in this top 10 list. And I'm playing on the busted version of the game. I'm not playing on the PC version where they put 200 hours in. I'm playing on an Xbox version. I went and bought an Xbox One X specifically so I could play this game better.
Sorry, Hugh, go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry, Huey. I was going.
No, because you're like... I was going to say, obviously, you have issues with it because of the version of the game you're playing. Like, just
not even that. No, not even that.
No, he has issues.
I have issues with some of the game in general. Like, I hate the fact that I can jump onto the map 10 times and die 7 of them. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Like, I 3 straight times I could die in the first 2 minutes and then watch Bobby and Andy for 20 minutes. Like, I have issues with that, but I realize that's the type of game that it is.
Yeah, but yeah, and like I suppose I'll say my piece for it as well. Like, I have never played... I have, by there, £700 worth of PC that I built to play this fucking video game. Like, and, like, I'm not going to say it's my number 1 game of the year because of that. But I played a few rounds of it on a friend's PC after attempting it on my old PC, and I was just like, there's something about this game. So I built my PC and me and Bobby started playing it, and I have never ever played a video game where, like, me and Bobby still now on occasion have, like, lengthy hours long text conversations about, like, what we did in the game, what we did wrong, like, where the person who killed us might have been. All right, that's kind of eliminated now because there's a kill cam in the game. But, like, just last night, like, we played a game where we came second as a team, and as soon as the round finished, I, like, said to everybody, I was like, guys, if I had, like, there was one thing I did in that game that caused us to probably, like, cost us winning the game, because Dave called something out to me. I looked and couldn't see it, so assumed that it wasn't gonna affect me. So I turned away, and in turning away, it became a problem for me. And just that, all of the variables, and the fact that, like, afterwards you can analyze it so much, and, like, as a group, like, spend hours and hours talking about what you did and how the game played out for you. And every time, like, every game is a unique situation, and even now Bobby and I are seeing things in that game that make us just go, this is fucking mental. Like, the other night when Bobby and Megs were playing it and we were streaming it, there was just some crazy stuff going on in that game that we'd never seen before. And there's just so much that can happen at any time that can be different to what you've seen. And after, like, 150 hours in this game, that's an amazing thing. And the first time I, like, finally won a game of PUBG was, like, it's the single most rewarding moment I've ever had. Like, the first time I completed the first raid on Destiny, that was an incredible moment for me. but the first win I got on PUBG was just like the feeling of achievement in that moment. And still now when I win a game, like it just feels so damn good. And yeah, it was janky at first, and it still has a few bugs, which are like minor ones, but as an experience, that video game is something phenomenal.
What's your issue with it, Kelsey?
It's not that. It's just that it's assumed that it's going to be in the top 10, and no one even brought up why it deserves to be there. Like, I just feel like if it's going to be in the top 10, then it should be persuaded to me. Like, now I'm persuaded. It's fine if it's there. But it's just like, it was an assumption that it should be there, and there was nothing that I had seen from it that I particularly found interesting or enjoyed from it. And like every time I would watch a stream, it just looked it looked laggy and janky, and I just didn't see the appeal. But like now I understand that you guys are explaining it. I just feel like if it was gonna be put on the top 10 automatically, it should have been explained.
Well, I mean, we're always going to talk about it, but like we also did Breath of the Wild without talking about it either.
Yeah, and Mario Odyssey.
So
yeah, but we all played those games. That's
but
the
most
difference.
of us, most of us played PUBG as well. So I'm just trying to say, like, I understand that you want to. We were all going to get into this when we decided to rank the places, but like that's all. So let's. Are we okay with the 10 that we have right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's a 10. So I started to throw things into a rough order just to float it out there. This is not set. I'm not saying this is the way it should be. I just tried to throw things into an order here for people to take a look at, and then we can work from here and say, no, this should be higher than this. This should be lower than this. That's how I figured we could work it from here. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Yeah. Okay. So right now, let me go over the 10 games we have on the list. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Night in the Woods, Horizon Zero Dawn, Cuphead, Metroid Samus Returns, Nier Automata, Dream Daddy, and What Remains of Edith Finch are our top 10 games right now. Matt.
I'm okay.
Look at the
Dream
list and
Daddy.
tell me what you think should be higher or lower right now.
So looking at this list, I feel like Horizon had such and conversation on Horizon. I just seems like maybe not top 5, but the actual point I really want to make is seeing as I'm the only. I don't want to say I'm the only Dream Daddy supporter because I believe other people like that game.
No, but you're not.
Yeah,
I love Dream
like it.
Daddy. I think
Right. Yes.
I think just for its subject, not that it's like you said, Matt. The type of game that it is isn't normally your thing, and same as it isn't mine. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and for I think the subject matter in the game is incredibly important, and the way it's handled is like just has such a deftness of touch. And the writing in that game and all the characters are really likable, and it's just an incredibly sweet, and like it makes you smile, it makes you feel good when you're playing it, and I have no issue whatsoever being in the top 10. I think it deserves to be there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I want to say, Matt, you said you don't think Horizon should be in the top 5. So where would you move it? Just let me know. What would you move?
If I had to move something, there's a couple of things. I mean, I don't want to move anyone's. Like, I'm not gonna move someone else's game, especially one that I haven't.
No,
played.
just suggest it, and then we'll talk about it, so we can kind of figure out where we all are as a group.
Maybe, look at this list as it's arranged. Where are we going to be placing Mario Odyssey? Is it too early to have that discussion, or
would you flop it? I mean, would you move it? Where would you move it, Matt?
Honestly, Mario Odyssey would probably be a little bit lower. It's definitely not number 2. I mean, we all know what my number 1 is, and
well, yes, obviously, Matt, we know. So would you move? What would you swap around?
I mean,
I will ask you this question for the 17th time.
okay, yeah. So, I would move it maybe to like a 4, maybe.
Okay.
I would also, like I mentioned, like with Dream Daddy, I would love to move it higher, but I think that may be a conversation we should have later. Yeah, I would say Mario Odyssey around a 4.
Okay. How do we? What
why'd you replace it with?
Well, I mean, if we just slid it down to 4 and slid.
Okay.
Right. I don't know how to approach
Let's
this.
just
I don't know how to
talk about it.
So I haven't decided.
Nothing is set in stone.
Right. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
The problem is I still don't know what my number 1 is.
Well, you have to figure. Well, Justin, we have to figure.
I know.
You're out of time.
I know. Odyssey is in contention for my number 1. Like,
that's reasonable. It's a game I love.
Of course, it's reasonable.
if Odyssey does not win, I don't think it should be lower than I don't think it should be lower than 2. That's my personal preference.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I don't think
Right now, for me, the top 3 as it is, like personally, like I would understand, given how other people feel about PUBG, if they feel more strongly about PUBG than other games, that will get moved down. But I think PUBG is fine where it is. I think the top 3 for me right now is fine. Like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, for me is like, and I spent so freaking long thinking about what was my number 1 of the year, and I think Zelda Breath of the Wild is like, it's my favorite game of the year.
I think here's what I think. I think that the games that are at 1, 2, and 3, I don't know what order they're necessarily going to be in, but I feel like considering the conversations we've had and the way how strongly people feel about those 3 games, I feel like those are going to be our top 3 games.
So,
Doesn't anybody disagree with that? Like, I'm not saying we have to order them in the order they're in. I'm just saying, like, how do we feel about it?
I would not argue with that.
You wouldn't argue with that, right? So let's say that those 3 games are going to be the... Justin, what do you think?
well, here's what I could say. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite video game of all time. Yet...
Thanks for talking about what we just established.
So, I have a hard time deciding between that and Odyssey. Because I think even though Breath of the Wild is the best thing I've played in a very, very long time.
Can I stop you for 1 second,
No,
Justin?
hang on.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
All right, go ahead.
I'm not asking us to lock in Zelda's number 1. I'm just saying, can we agree that 1, 2, and 3 are these games?
I think we should start talking
Yes,
about it.
yes, we should agree 1, 2, and 3
Okay,
of those games.
those are going to be... one of those games is going to be our number 1 game.
I know.
Of those 3 games. Okay.
Is Zelda...
Let's wait, okay? So we know that we're not dealing with the top 3 anymore, okay? We know that we're gonna scramble this around maybe, but let's just leave those at those 3 positions right now and come back to them, okay?
Horizon needs to go down.
I think we all agree on that. Or can we
I'm fine with that.
push Horizon down?
I'm fine with that.
I think we can probably at least put Horizon at 6.
I think lower.
Is
I'm fine with
Horizon number...
Horizon barely got in here. Horizon got in here on me throwing Assassin's Creed to the wind.
Also, because Hugh really loves it.
He really loves it. I know.
Let's not.
No. But
reductive.
I look. I'm not speaking bad about Horizon. It's number 7 or 8 on my personal lists. I think putting it at the 8 spot and move Dream Daddy up.
Oh.
Look, Nier is... I'm just happy I got it in the top 10. I'm not going to fight for it. It is my number 3 game. I'm not going to try and push it into the top 5.
Right, I get
So
you.
at that point, it's fine if it goes down.
Right. What if we put... I'm just going to do this right here. So,
I'm fine with that. I personally, I do think Cuphead is like 5 for Cuphead is a good
Cuphead's the one I'd like to push into the top 5. Like, I would like Cuphead at 4. I think it's a freaking masterpiece.
Yeah, it is a.
From what I've seen of Cuphead, I'm willing to give it a spot. Because I'm also happy that Metroid made the top 10. I think Metroid's the best game I ever played on the 3DS. And however, from what I've seen of Cuphead, and Night in the Woods, and Super Mario and Legend of Zelda, and PUBG, I guess. Metroid is fine there. Like, I'm willing to give it to Cuphead.
the little dig in there. Yeah, I'm fine with Cuphead at 5. I'm totally fine with Cuphead at 5. I just feel like
Get your shots in where you can, Kelsey.
no, yeah, I guess. Night in the Woods feels like a game that we were all very positive on.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yeah.
As a group.
Mm-hmm. Like,
So,
I would be happy if Horizon goes, like, lower than where it... Like, even if you move it down to 10, I think the strength of feeling for... No, I'm like... I think the strength of feeling towards what else is on this list, I think, like, I would be happy with it. Like, I've got it... It's on the list, so I'm happy. Like, if other people want... like feel more strongly about other games, then I'm that's fine. I can move Horizon down gladly.
Okay. Here's my one change that I would like to make it in the 4 through 10. I would love to see Edith Finch higher. I think Edith Finch is I adore Gone Home. Last year we talked about how much I fucking adored Firewatch. And while I think Firewatch is probably still a better story, I think Edith Finch takes the walking simulator and adds the element of, like we talked about the cannery sequence. You could only do this in a video game.
It adds death.
It adds depth, but it also adds a depth to the gameplay.
Yeah.
Right. Much like Night in the Woods, like it surprised me with how much there was to do in the game, other than just walk around and talk to people.
I think with people refer to those games as first-person experiences, and I think the experience of What Remains of Edith Finch in that genre is going to be incredibly hard to beat. I would like to move it
up to 7. That would be what I would want to do. What do you think about that, Hugh?
I like that game. I adore that game. I thought it was, like, in terms of surprises of the year, where I was just like, I think I only I started hearing about it maybe a week or two before it came out, and I was like, this game sounds cool. I like Firewatch and stuff like that, and Gone Home, and I played it, and I think I finished it in 2 sittings in one day, and I blitzed through it, and it's fantastic. I honestly think it's the best type of that game.
What if we move Edith Finch to 7? Is that going to bother? Is that a problem for anyone?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Wait.
I said if we move Edith Finch to 7.
Over Dream Daddy?
Over Dream Daddy.
Okay.
You don't have to lay down, Matt, if you want to...
Yeah.
Look, I feel like... I feel like I have pushed Dream Daddy further than I thought I would have. And
I agree with you.
Yes. But I I also feel like it's a game that deserves that support.
I agree with you. That's why it's number 7. It's the 7th best game of 2017.
Technically, it's the 8th best game.
8th best game of 2017.
Like, it's above Horizon Zero Dawn and Nier Automata. Like, when you think of, like, how big those games are, and, like,
I'm fine with where it is.
You're fine with where it is. Okay. My computer died, by the way, so
I can take care of the list.
just the very end here.
I'm fine with where it is.
So,
I think we're pretty close here. I just want to ask you, Justin, do you feel very strongly about moving Cuphead any farther up the list?
I would like to see Cuphead and Night in the Woods swap. Cuphead's so freaking good.
I can totally live with that. Like, I can live with Night in the Woods at 5. I think that's still a great position for that game. And I'm in love with Night in the Woods, but I know how passionately you feel about Cuphead, and Cuphead is an excellent game. So I am okay with it swapping and putting it at 4.
Yeah, same. I don't have a problem.
I said I would like Cuphead to be in the top 5. If it ends up 4, then great, because I'm in Justin's camp. Like I said, I haven't finished that game because it's really freaking hard, and there's only so many hours in a day. But just like I said before, like I won't repeat myself, but that game is just like Justin said, it's a masterpiece. It's superb.
I agree. I'm totally fine with this.
It's tight. The visuals, the sounds, the designs on all the bosses is just it's something. And the best part about Cuphead is like they only came to that art style after they had the game. It was originally designed to be like you would be fighting stuff in like a preschool or kindergarten. So it would be like macaroni cheese bosses and stuff like that, which I hope they do one day. That would be really great.
If it's that fidelity of design, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so as of right now, 4 through 10 are locked as Cuphead, Night in the Woods, Metroid Samus Returns, What Remains of Edith Finch, Dream Daddy, Nier Automata, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So we have a top 3 that we're going to suss out now of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
I will tell you that I'm okay with those 3 in the order in which they're in. If my personal list, it would be I would swap PUBG and Mario. I put PUBG at 2, Mario at 3. I'm willing to. You can see that might not happen here, but it's at this point I love all 3 of those games a tremendous amount for all different reasons. I think that Mario Odyssey is close to the pinnacle of probably what a 3D Mario game can probably be. An open world. An exploratory Mario game can possibly be. But we said about PUBG. I've talked about PUBG for a year now on this show. I think that still now when I take down another player in that game, it's like I get the same feeling as taking down a Bloodborne boss. Like every time I play the game, I get that feeling that's crazy tense and then huge relief, feeling like a huge accomplishment. But I'm not going to fight Mario at 2 if that's what the room would want.
No,
so
I absolutely adore Mario Odyssey. Like, I think when I finished that game, like I think it's the first time I've ever finished a video game and thought to myself, I cannot wait until my nephew is old enough for me to play this with. Because like, even for like to have my own kids that I can play that game with, like it's just.
I could tell you all about that experience.
Fun. Well, that's part of the reason why, like, it made me feel like it, like I had that sort of feeling towards it. Like I just in my mind think like Justin must absolutely love playing this with Jorah.
It's the reason that I can't like I love Zelda. I do. Like I haven't really said that out loud. I was just the minute I finish Zelda, I'm like, okay, unless something wild comes along, this is going to be my game of the year. The systems that it does, we can all get into that in a second. But like Odyssey is like it's the pinnacle of like that 3D platformer. I can't say a bad word about the mechanics. I can't say a bad word about the game at all. The look, the style, the feel, the playing it, but on top of all that, the experience of sitting there with my son and watching his joy from it, it clouds Zelda for me in a way like I've never had this experience before. I've played great video games before, but I've never watched the joy of a game through the eyes of a kid. Mm-hmm. And like I am probably going to get an Odyssey tattoo because of what this game meant to me playing with Jorah. I can't give that experience to everybody else, which is why my number 1 has become cloudy. If I could, Odyssey would run away with Game of the Year, even though my personal favorite experience of playing a video game alone is Zelda. The joy of Odyssey is clouding my perception of everything else, which is why I've been saying, like, I'm going to need help sussing out number 1 because I do think that there are things about Zelda that aren't perfect. I do think the inventory system, the weapon durability thing, it is an annoyance. Can you easily get around it? Yes. The climbing in the rain thing, or the rain showing up exactly when you don't want it to, is like an annoyance, whereas I have no annoyances in Odyssey. So I like either one of these games can win, and I'm totally fine with it. But like, I'd like to know everybody's feelings.
One thing I will say is
what they would do there.
Does anybody now have the mental image of Justin getting Cappy tattooed on his ass in their head?
He's gonna get tattooed on his head and a mustache tattooed on his face, so that he's a capture. Well, here's what I want to hear. I want to hear Matt talk about Zelda because he's been waiting probably for
True.
a year, but also he's been waiting for the whole 8 hours we've been recording this podcast to talk about this game.
Regale us, Matt.
I just think Zelda's it's the best video game of all time.
I could be there with you.
I put it down. For months, and I picked it up around the holidays. It was like hour 160, and I found a sleeping dragon that I had to wake up. I have been over every inch of that game, and it's still surprising. This wasn't even DLC stuff. This was just, here's a thing that you just haven't stumbled upon yet. I've never felt like more impressed by a game. Just that sense of we always talk about games of like, oh yeah, if you want to do it, you can do it. But like with Zelda, it's kind of true. Like the amount of freedom that you get in Zelda. I think it is one of the more beautiful games. I think the music is incredibly powerful. I even like the story. I will even defend Zelda's voice actor, which I know people hate.
I don't mind it.
But I like there are moments in that game that I find are absolutely hilarious. There are moments in that game where I'm like, oh my god, Nintendo's really making a weird joke here. Like I always talk about when you go see Impa, and there's like Impa's like lady servant, and Link starts asking her about like her birthmark, and it's just like, okay, this is weird, but I don't know. No game has, Zelda Breath of the Wild has like matched, and maybe I'm not a very imaginative person, but it has literally like lived up to the hype, has captured, and I know it's a cliche, but captured my imagination. And I've never been more impressed by a video game. Like, there was never a moment where I felt, okay, I need to go deal with Ganon because I want this to be over with. I mean, I finally did just out of curiosity, but like the end goal was never a motivator. It was just how much more can I discover? And the thing is, I'm now at like 160, 170 hours in it. There's still stuff in that game that I don't know about yet. Yeah. And I think it's an insane achievement. And I look at these other games and they're great. Like they really are. But like as far as like, who sold their soul to the devil to make Zelda Breath of the Wild? Like it's going to be, as much as like say PUBG is going to influence a lot of games over the next year or so, Breath of the Wild is going to influence games over the next decade or so.
I agree.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I think that, Matt, I'm actually there with you, and Justin, surprisingly, also there with you. Where if you were gonna ask me like, what's your favorite game of all time, it would be hard for me not to say The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
You've had a couple of those in the last few years.
I know it's been an amazing couple of years, to be quite honest with you, and like I'm not the open world guy. Like, I'm just not. And the way that Zelda implements that open world by giving you so much freedom and so much discovery and not forcing and pointing you towards waypoints constantly and not littering your map with 1,000 icons was just a breath of fresh air for me. I love the way it looks. I love the way... I don't even mind the inventory system and the rain, only because it continues. It's another thing that forces me to think differently about how I'm going to achieve something, And
it's just another one of those, like, there's so much in the way of like little details in that game, and the whole thing with the rain is just another one of them.
Yeah,
they made a mistake in trying to sell the game as, you see that mountain, you could go there, as opposed to, do you see this thing? What you think you should be able to do, you can.
Yeah.
Like the systems that the game does, like if you're in the desert, and you could find a piece of something magnetic. You hold the magnetic thing with the magnesis above your head, and it gives you shade, which lowers your core temperature. Like, I would have never thought of that, but you could do it. And like the small things like that, like creating airships or stringing along all your swords to like conduct electricity from one point to another, like no other game does that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And like I like the story, like, and I know that's probably the weak point of the game, but like the sense of exploration, the Skyrim, let me just go walk over there and see what there is to see, is unmatched by pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Only
I
Skyrim
think-
has ever given me that feeling, and not to this degree.
The thing that I absolutely loved about that game was just like I've said before on the podcast, like I love games that keep it simple but do simple well. And there's nothing about Breath of the Wild that is complicated or confusing or anything like that. Even like all the shrines, the dungeons, like the divine beasts, they're all, it's just okay.
Motion shrines can go screw off though.
Yeah,
One-
like those two motion shrines
Yes.
are just like the
Yes.
worst.
Those,
The worst.
Those
Yeah.
shrines are terrible, but that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like poorly designed.
Well, yeah, and
But-
there's 120 of them or whatever, so it's like it's barely anything. You
Exactly.
don't have to do them, but it's just like I'm like, you guys did everything else so right. Why did you have to do the motion control thing? Why did you have to you couldn't help yourself?
I just think like the sense of adventure in that game, where it just like it puts you into the world. It says what you need to do is go to these 4 places, and then go and defeat that guy. Go about your business, and just the joy of exploring. And like I was listening to the Nintendo Power podcast, the first episode of it, and it was speaking to a couple of developers, and they said the ethos they started with when they made that game was their number one idea was that if you press the stick forward, you would never stop going forward. And I just think that is just sort of like a brilliant basis for a video game, and it does it. Like once you get your stamina to a good enough point, you can literally hold the stick up, and you know if there's something in your way, you'll climb it. If you can go over things, and just like Matt said, you can spend so much time in that game, and it just keeps giving to you. And like I've recently like picked it back up and started sort of exploring again. And I just think it's just a wonderful achievement in video game design. And I think after and this doesn't like factor into my sort of feeling towards the game, but after like a Nintendo falling into the wilderness for like years, like they have with the Wii U, for them to come back and sort of plant their foot in the ground and say, all right, we've got this new system, it's a really cool thing, and here's this absolutely phenomenal video game, and then to follow it up with Mario Odyssey, I just think that like those Zelda is like my favorite game of the year. I'm happy with Mario Odyssey being number 2.
Kelsey, where are you at with Mario and Zelda?
I mean, I played more of Mario this year, and I think I had a better time with Mario. But that's my own personal preference in gameplay, because everything you guys are saying, like, I know that Zelda's a better game if we had, that we're picking in between, and that there's enough about Zelda that I've played that I can recognize that had I enjoyed open world games more, I probably would have enjoyed Zelda way more than Mario.
Mm-hmm. So the sense I'm getting from the roundtable is that Zelda's going to be our number 1.
I agree.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Mario at 2 and PUBG at 3. I'm okay
Same.
with that.
Mm-hmm. I think the 10 as it is, just like for me, I think the 10 as it is I am, if we go with that, more than happy.
I think most importantly, I think these are 10 games that represent us very well.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
That's true. And like
That's
I said,
in the end, that's the most important thing to me when we finish this
And-
list.
if let's face it, the volume of not just good games, not just very good games, but standout, brilliant video games, like top to bottom, that list, every single one of those games is fucking awesome. And like, I think if we ever have a list this strong ever again, I think I will be amazed. I honestly will be
Yeah.
amazed.
Yeah.
Kelsey, I'm sorry that we had a tiff.
It's okay.
It's like your bag
one-tenth
of
the type
dicks is in the
tiff you and I
post.
have had.
I know. But it's Kelsey and I's first tiff. So
I know.
it's
You get used to them, Kelsey.
It's okay. It's okay. I feel like me and Bobby are the same in argument standards. Like, we could argue forever. Like, I think we're both it's our way or the highway, and I just think if I hadn't backed down, we would have never stopped.
I think you're pretty accurate.
Well
on
done
that
for
one.
being a better person, Kelsey.
But let's just also put Zelda over the top as this.
Yes.
Are we sure?
Sound.
That cooking sound is mwah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love his little hum.
Yeah.
All
right,
Is it
so-
too late to put Sonic back on this?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
What do we think about Horizon, really?
I'm just saying. You can play Dr. Robotnik's mean.
Can I just say we are now at 5 hours, 1 minute, and 28 seconds.
Awesome. All right.
Timing.
What I figured.
Let's
was gonna
wrap
happen
this
today.
sucker up, huh?
It's nine.
Categories, right?
It's 9:40 at night, and when we started this, it was 4:30 in the afternoon.
Well, you're in a crazy time zone.
Yeah.
Let's.
I'm in the time zone by which all others are measured. I think you'll find.
Justin, you want to run down our top 10 list 10 to 1?
Sure. Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, Dream Daddy, What Remains of Edith Finch, Metroid Samus Returns, Night in the Woods, Cuphead, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Super Mario Odyssey, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I want to give a special award, the what I call the Rise of the Tomb Raider award to Metroid Samus Returns, which just is on the list and we never talked about it.
Yep, I thought about that 20 minutes ago and we looked at the time and I was like, that's just taking it.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it
For what it's worth,
we gonna
we
award
weren't talking
a-
about it, but
Jackie Turner Rayman Legends Award.
Rayman Legends always wins.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Always wins. And last year's FIFA. Always win those awards. That's going to do it for our Game of the Year 2017. Get in touch with us, talking_games on Twitter. games@talkingcompbooks.com is our email address. Twitch.tv/talkinggames and youtube.com/talkinggames videos. My personal Twitter is @BobbyShortle. Justin.
Jaroak, J-O-R-O-A-K.
Hugh.
At H_Paz.
Matt.
I'm at Johnny Matt Wood on Twitter and Instagram.
All right. And Kelsey.
Kelsey, KLSSAMUS.
Oh, and that's going to do it for that year in games and this Game of the Year mega podcast. This is definitely 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
Four, more like.
But until next time, thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
And thank you to all of you for listening and sticking with us. Until next time, be good to one another.